This is the Business Breakfast on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Join the conversation.
Now, obviously, a lot of those prices are mentioned. We're reacting to what's been going on in the Strait of Hormuz and here in the region since the beginning of March. The regional conflict has put a lot of pressure on a number of different industries and continues to do so at the moment as well, we strive for more certainty. One thing you can be certain of is all things insurance, and the insurance market is one that has reacted accordingly. In fact, InsuranceMarket.ae, one of the biggest providers here in the region, have just launched a whole host of new products in light of some of the concerns and the demands created by the current conflict. Tell us more about these new products, but also give us an overview on the insurance market as a whole. Absolute pleasure to welcome the Deputy CEO of InsuranceMarket.ae, Hitesh Motwani, to the studio. Hitesh, always good to catch up with you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Tom, for having me here.
So we are, over 120 days in since the new norms that we are getting used to living and working in since the beginning of March. Talk us about the new products and the thinking behind them.
Right. So the biggest impact product, I would say, has been what we call the political violence insurance. So that is something which would cover business owners and individual property owners in case of any physical damage to their particular asset. And that's something which is widely being talked about. And, a lot of customers want to know a bit more about that. And additionally, there are other products as well. So now the motor insurance product has an extension for war cover as well. So now every time you talk to your broker, just make sure you speak about getting the war extension under the motor insurance policy. Additionally, there is another product for personal accident, which we have introduced that basically specifically covers for war and is for residents of the UAE. And additionally, there have been policies on marine insurance and life insurance, which typically have covered such situations in the past. But now the policies have just evolved a bit to ensure that they support these situations better.
Why did you introduce them and why now? I mean, did you have to introduce them or not?
So the political violence product has always been there in some form historically, but it was not talked about earlier in the past. So now, obviously, considering the regional updates, this product has picked up and, a lot of customers have been asking for cover, especially after realizing that a typical property policy would not cover, would have a standard exclusion for war. So this has been talked about quite a lot lately. I mean, we saw at least 100% increase in customers requesting to know more about the product. Yes, not a lot of them have bought because they are still learning about the product and want to know more about the product, but we've definitely had a 100% increase in conversations around this particular product.
So you've listened to your clients, you have constructed these new products, you've put them out there on the market, insurance market, of course. What's the sort of reaction been like and what sort of demand are you anticipating? Is that going to come from individuals or from organizations?
Yeah, I mean, initially we saw it a lot coming from organizations itself, but there are a lot of individual property owners as well who want to have a conversation around this. So right now I would say the demand is split 60-40, 60% towards companies talking about it and 40% individuals actually wanting to talk about this and potentially looking at buying this product. Having said that, I think when the risk was at its peak, the premiums were on the higher side as well. So this became an opportunity for us to educate the customer. Like I said, not a lot of them ended up purchasing it. But now what's happening is we are seeing rates and premiums go down as the market stabilizes. And that is eventually leading to people picking this product up. And, it is becoming a part and parcel of their regular insurance requirements.
In the age-old equation, insurance equals peace of mind, allows you to sleep better at night. But when turmoil replaces peace, is there a greater demand for peace of mind? And that's why you need to think out of the box for more products like this.
Oh yes, absolutely, and that's what it does, right? So this also takes me back to the 2024 floods example. A lot of customers did not know that they don't have a flood cover on their policy. So that's when this whole conversation started around ensuring that that is included in the policy, and likewise what we saw here as well. And the demand for home insurance in general also peaked. It was 120% higher than the previous quarter, for example, what we saw this quarter.
Let's talk premiums if we can. Everyone's favourite subject, of course. What's your forecast for premiums, given the reading of the market at the moment?
Well, specifically, if you have to talk about the war product or political violence product, the premiums are on a declining trend. Typically for a property of, let's say, 10 million dirhams, the premiums were in the range of 200,000 to 300,000 dirhams. But now this is going down. We've already seen a 30% drop in premiums, and it's down to, let's say, a 1.5% of the property value, or 150,000 dirhams. But this is constantly being evaluated by the insurance and the reinsurance market, and it is expected to further come down to levels of probably 1% or 0.75% of the property value.
Would that be the same with life insurance, for example?
So life insurance is something which has not been impacted due to this, because life insurance was always covering a passive war risk. It's just that the insurance companies have understood and introduced certain additional support to be able to offer to those customers impacted due to this at the time of a claim. But overall, the life insurance premiums have not really changed.
Got the latest reports coming from S&P Global Ratings. They expect UAE insurers such as yourself, revenue to edge a little bit higher, but to face slower growth due to what we've experienced since the beginning of March. What's your sort of reading of the rest of the year for you and the team at Insurance Market?
Well, I think so far it is not been challenging, I would say, when it comes to the growth from a policy count growth point of view. We definitely are seeing a lot of interest. And the average premiums have been up as well. So it just shows that more customers now want to actually get themselves insured. The penetration of home insurance has gone up a bit. So I think overall, I don't see any major challenges there. We have customers, like I said, more aware of risks available to them. And of course, we support them in managing those risks better. And hence, we're not seeing any decline as such.
Just very quickly, are these new products available now?
Yes.
Okay, so they are live on the market as we speak. Yeah. Hitesh, thank you so much indeed. Good to see you on a Thursday morning. Always good to see you and the team from InsuranceMarket.ae. You've heard them here on the station. You've seen them out there on Sheikh Zayed Road. They might be involved with a couple of the metro stations and more. Hitesh Motwani is the Deputy CEO of InsuranceMarket.ae. Thanks for your time here on the Business Breakfast.
Thanks.